lot more followers than most people who are on Twitter. I guess the question is kind of relying on each other to get the right information out to the public. How does that work, and how do you kind of manage that while at the same time, particularly for the newspapers, getting first, getting there on getting that information out first? Because let's face it, we live in a media world where being first is important, and that's kind of where it went wrong, in my opinion, with Newtown Massacre. Everyone was getting out that information, everyone get it all wrong. So, how do you kind of work together? Is there a collaborative
Well, it sounds like
process?
they do. Sounds like, you guys do sort of work.
Well, I always look at all the newspapers and stuff to see what the sources are saying. I don't try to make money off any of my website, so I always link to the news medium, news source that has that information first, and so it allows me not have to write it and get it out, so I can get it out, very quickly. But Twitter is citizen journalism at its best, and one thing I love about it, I didn't get too many of those tweets about Newtown to know exactly who messed up and who didn't, but we all have a whole mobile TV network in our pockets, every single one of us now. They're taking video, taking camera. The Red Line train was open yesterday or Monday, that we're all witnesses to that, and then traditional media then picks up on it. I mean, I'm always amazed by how much followers, and it kind of trickles up. It'll trickle up, someone will tweet it to me, or Universal Hub, and then Channel 7 or something will pick up on it, and I'm at Boston.com, and I'm always amazed by how much those traditional media sources use Twitter and what's happening in the city by us citizen journalists to report on what's happening. So instead of like 5 journalists in the city, there's 622,000 or something.
Yeah. And now how much are you mostly your own primary source?
Right, so that's, we have
totally
it completely differently.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the primary source, so we have to make sure that we get it right. So that's always the fight that I have internally is, how quickly can I put out information? I need to make sure that it's verified first, because if they tweet something that they heard and it's wrong, that's bad for them that they're the newspaper. But if the police do it, that's really, really bad.
Well, you use very careful police language,
right.
like report of a gunman.
Right. Well, and those are just the automated tweets. But in situations where there's something that's ongoing, so we had an automated tweet that there was a report of a person with a gun on Mass Ave during the MIT incident. Right. But then I had to follow that up because there was mass hysteria basically at that point, and people wanted to know what was going on. So I followed that up with tweets and said, it was a false report, all clear, and we got like 465 retweets on that. I mean, that's the biggest tweet we've ever had. So we have to be very careful in our business to make sure that we're waiting an appropriate amount of time to make sure that the facts are straight.
Definitely.
So I think with Twitter, we still, we have all these citizen journalists out there, and that's really, I mean, how newspapers are getting their news. More and more they're getting their news that way, but newspapers also have a responsibility, and I think you mentioned, that you got to check some things out before you post or repost certain things, and so I think, and Newtown was a good example. I mean, there were, I think, 2 major errors that kind of got out there, and they were pretty serious. So yeah, it's good to get the information out quickly, but it's always good to check. And especially for police news, I know that when I was with the Chronicle, there was a what was it, a quadruple murder in Cambridge, and we got a tweet from, there's a lot of people out there who follow scanners, and
there's New England Fire Buff.
Exactly, and there's another guy, I can't remember his username, but he tweeted at us this news right as it was happening, and I was, of course, afraid to retweet something like that, so I called Dan up and asked what's going on here. But so I think we have a duty to make sure that what we're sending as newspapers, we've got to provide context, and Twitter's a step in the process.